welcome to Never Show the Monster. I'm Kelly Attaway.
I'm Chelsea Hollander.
And today we are talking about the werewolf movie Dog Soldiers, continuing our theme on cryptids. And this one's actually cryptid. This one's cryptid, in my opinion. So we got, unlike Skinwalker Ranch, we crushed it this time.
I was going to say, I am not the best at understanding what cryptids are. Oh, I will be an expert by the end of this series.
Yeah, dude. We're learning.
But I am super excited to talk about this movie.
Me too.
Before we jump into it, I do want to give a recommendation to our listeners to go watch this movie prior to us talking about it. We will have spoilers. I don't know if it's a movie that matters when it comes to spoilers, but you should go watch it.
This one's really good. Yeah, treat yourself. Go treat yourself.
Yeah, go watch it.
Yeah, I loved this. In fact, no, let me say it differently.
Okay.
I fucking loved this.
That's a good reaction to have, I think. I was worried I wouldn't, based on the cover. So I feel like that's fair. And we knew it had a high rating, so we were like, I mean, it doesn't, the rating does not match the cover.
No.
Or the name.
No.
But pleasantly surprised.
Yes, absolutely. You know what? You know what I think of this movie as? The Dead and Breakfast of werewolf movies.
You know, really? Yeah. That's perfect. Yeah.
Huh. It's like fun and dumb and like really quick dialogue, like lots of jokes, but not gimmicky. Like just super believable characters. Like just, you know, sassy Scottish men. Oh, I guess we could give a quick summary. So this is a group of, snarky soldiers in it's set in Scotland. Not all of them are Scottish.
British?
Yeah, I guess they're British. Yeah. All British, right? No Americans?
Yes. No Americans.
No Americans. And they are just out there doing like a routine military exercise. Our group of scrappy soldiers are like training against a more nefarious group of soldiers. Yeah. And then werewolves appear and lay siege to them, and we have to fight for our lives for the whole movie, and it is so fun.
Yep. Yeah.
Would you like to hear some facts and figures?
Yes, please.
Okay, so this one came out 2002. The writer and director is Neil Marshall, who also wrote and directed The Descent.
Yeah. I'm glad I went into this blind because if I had known that, I would have been like, oh,
right.
I have high expectations already. But I went into it with the lowest expectations
I know.
of any movie I've ever gone into. That's not true. I've gone in with lower expectations. But if I had known that, I would have probably been like, oh, this movie's going to be great.
Right. Yeah. No, agreed. I always avoided this movie because I thought it would be bad. And I was so wrong. Something interesting is Neil Marshall also edited it.
Oh.
Yeah. Isn't that cool?
Yeah. Wow. This must have been like, there's a lot of love in that to be writer, director, and editor.
I have some facts for you because I maybe got a little bit obsessed.
Okay, good. I wouldn't say I've got some of the trivia, but I feel like you're going to have a lot more interesting things to say.
I mean, I don't know. What do I know? But yeah, so this is a little like ensemble cast. There's like 10 people in the movie total, and 2 of them die in the first, 30 seconds. So we've got our core group of soldiers, and then we've got a bad guy and a lady. And in the soldiers, I'm not going to go through all of them because half of them don't even have pictures on IMDb. This is like the only thing they've done. Yeah. But in the soldiers, we've got Sean Pertwee, who we know from Event Horizon, and he is Sergeant Wells. Then we've got Kevin McKidd, who I guess is really famous, but I didn't know him as Cooper. And we've got Liam Cunningham as Ryan. He's not in the core group. He's the other military guy. I don't know. He's like special ops or something. And then we've got Emma Cleesby as Megan. And like I said, 4 other soldiers named Bruce, Spoon, Joe, and Terry.
Spoon.
Witherspoon is his name. We call him Spoon
Oh,
for
okay.
short.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You were looking something up. I could tell from your
sorry.
face.
I was trying to see what else that McKidd was in because do you know the fun fact on McKidd and what happened during the filming?
Oh, and his ribs?
Yeah. And how he's going to be replaced by Jason Statham.
No, that's not it. That's not it. They had originally cast Jason Statham.
Oh.
And then this movie took like 6 years to be made. And in that time, Jason Statham became Jason Statham. And so he went off to do Jason Statham stuff.
I thought it was that he had hurt his ribs and then got fired from the film. So then they recast Jason Statham. And then Jason Statham had a conflict. So then they rehired him.
Oh, no. I watched an interview with him and the director. And
okay.
Yeah, he did break his ribs, and he was afraid that he would be fired, so he didn't tell anybody about it until after filming was complete. Yeah.
How?
I know, he just did it.
Yeah, that's painful.
Broken ribs the whole time, and I was like, did you learn nothing from the script?
You could puncture a lung.
Come on, if you're hurt, you have to say, you have to tell people.
Aww.
Oh, and I was, it's like some anniversary of The Matrix coming out. And I was watching. No, I wasn't watching. I was reading a little bit of stuff about it. Twitter thread. I don't know why I said that like vague. Like maybe I read an article or a history book. No, I read a Twitter thread about The Matrix. And Carrie-Anne Moss did the same thing. She hurt herself. She sprained her ankle like day 2 of shooting and didn't tell anybody.
Aww.
Because she was worried she'd be recast.
That would be sad. I like Carrie-Anne Moss in that role.
Right? She's perfect for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the best. And so is, what's his name? I've already forgotten. McKidd. As Cooper.
I thought I thought everyone was cast perfectly. There was a good chunk where at the beginning I was like, I cannot tell any of these people apart whatsoever.
I know.
They're dressed the same. Their faces look pretty similar. They have the same haircut. Nothing is distinguishable.
Yes. And I was like, okay. Recently, I told you my hypothesis that all men in movies look the same. And so I had the same thought watching this. I was like, this is what I'm fucking talking about.
Yeah, no, they do. Every one of them looks exactly the same. And I was like, and then to refer to some of them, I was like, he likes the footy on the telly. And that's all I could say I was like, he likes the footy.
He loves the footy on the telly.
And I was like, but what characters?
That's Joe.
I'm glad that you got the name with it, because every time I was like, oh, it's the guy who likes the footy.
The only reason that I am able to remember that is because he makes it to the end of not all the way to the end of the movie, but like reasonably far into the movie, which makes me think of, so I watch RuPaul's Drag Race, not in real time. I'm slowly watching it from the beginning. So I'm on season like 8 or something, which is, I don't know, 120 years ago or so. But every time a new season starts and it's like 12, I don't know, 18, I don't know how many they start with, but I'm always like, we got to get halfway through the season before I know a single name. Like I cannot.
Yeah, because somebody bites it really early on by running into a tree.
That's Bruce.
Thank you. Bruce
welcome.
Campbell. Is that, wait, what's his name?
Oh my God. Yes, that's right. It is.
Okay.
And then Wells is Harry G. Wells, H.G. Wells.
Oh.
Oh, they're doing it. They're doing it.
I did see that he had said that there were a ton of references in the movie and that he feels like he may have overdone it on references. And I was like, I don't think you can. Just keep throwing them in there.
Yeah. There was only one that made me roll my eyes, and it was the Matrix one. There is no spoon. Yeah. But I rolled my eyes affectionately.
Aww.
Very generously. How much did you read about how this movie got made?
I did not read anything about how the movie got made. I just knew a couple snippets, and I would like to hear more.
Well, you mentioned Bruce Campbell, which got me thinking about...
Wait, was he going to be in the movie?
No. Oh. Or at least not to my knowledge. No, the director and somebody else involved on the movie, I can't remember who. I didn't write it down. But they were pals. Somebody in production, not on screen.
Mm-hmm.
And they really wanted to make their Evil Dead. And so they were like talking about it, hyping themselves up about this movie in a pub, drunk.
Oh,
and they wrote a little contract on a napkin. Like, we're going to write this movie. I'm going to direct it. You're going to do whatever role this guy ends up fulfilling. And they signed it and made it happen. And they were like super committed. It, like I said, it took like 6 years. And so, you know, Neil Marshall was just writing and rewriting the script during that time. I think he said that the one in the movie is the 12th iteration of the script. Right. Yeah. And they ended up having a lot of, what's the word? Integrity, I think.
Yeah, because, it seems like it.
Yeah, they were really committed to their vision. Like, at some point, the studio was like, you know, if you change X, Y, and Z, then we'll greenlight it. And they were like, no, we won't do that. And so they went on to make something else in that time. And then the studio was like, oh, okay, that was good. You can do what you want to do.
That's good. I hate... Yeah. We've talked about that a couple of times. It, like, whenever studio interference bad. But also whenever you allow the movie creators to create what they want to create, it always turns out so... Not always. I don't know. Where is the bad stories? Where whenever the creators actually get to do what they want to do and it's something that they care about. I'm sure that there are some listeners write in.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of, like, would Star Wars? No. But I was trying to think because Host.
Yeah.
Done really well. And that was given free reign to do whatever they wanted. Mm-hmm. Isn't that the same with Barbarian and...
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just a couple movies we've talked about, and the ones that end up being like, we trust your vision, we trust what you're doing, you have full reign. I think that also happened... Is it with Stranger Things? Or is it just the latest season of Stranger Things? I don't know, but Stranger Things also, they let them do whatever they want. Like, their episodes can be like 10 minutes to like 2 hours. Like, it's just kind of their decision on how they want to put that forward. But I don't know. This was just a great example of giving people full reign to do what they thought was best. And I like the little parts I knew were like the CGI and how they didn't want to use CGI. And it was really important to them to primarily use like suits and.
Yeah.
Did they use animatronics?
Yes. Yeah, they did. I don't know if it was like an RC car, but I did see a video of somebody with their hands up inside the mask. And the props guy was saying that it had like 20 different movements that you could do. Yeah, no, it wasn't
your
like...
fingers. I was like...
What if I was just doing this? Like the blah, blah, blah noise you do.
There's just a lot of things that you can press on it.
Yeah.
But it was like...
He had his hands up in there.
The thumb to move the eyebrows.
I
was going to say the eyebrows... They did move sometimes, I think. I don't know. I can't remember the facial expressions that well. But yeah, I was just really impressed with them being really... And this was in 2002. So it was a time when CGI was really like everyone was using CGI.
Yeah. And Neil Marshall specifically, because of that, he was like, I think that that's a bad idea. Like, already think about what came out 2 years ago and how much and how bad it looks now. And he was also saying that, like, even when it looks good, he was like, I think it takes you out of the movie because you're seeing the CGI and you're thinking, oh, that looks really good, instead of, oh, I'm so scared.
Yeah. There was whenever I was talking to Ryan about it earlier, he had watched it with me, but I was like, you know what? Thinking about that time, and I was like, 5 years before you had Mimic, and that kind of took you out of the movie because it was like, you're like, oh, this is CGI. Like, we liked it whenever it was the puppets and the props, and it looked really cool. But whenever it came to CGI, it would kind of just take you a moment to be like, that's not the same.
Right.
This isn't the same thing you've been showing me this entire time. Thank you.
And like, I know that movie is not representative of CG, but that part where, what was he called? Mr. Shoes? Mr. something Shoes?
Mr. Tep? No, yeah.
Yeah. Big bug when he
Yeah.
like zooms down the subway tunnel.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so funny. And it wasn't supposed to be. It was supposed to be scary.
Mm-hmm.
But even Lord of the Rings was the year before this. And looking
Yeah.
back at Lord of the Rings, it looks like shit. Like, sorry,
Oh, no,
but it
I
looks
don't agree.
bad.
I do not agree.
But you've got nostalgia colored glasses.
No, there are scenes in it that are not good, but
Okay.
specifically not all of them. I think that they did the CGI really well. And without the nostalgia colored glasses, I still think it holds up. There is a scene where
okay.
Legolas is trying to get on a horse, and then another one where he gets on an elephant, and those don't make any sense. So when we were talking about Mimic, I thought it was really cool because in the 97 series we also did Event Horizon.
Yeah.
And the bodies that were in the basement were actually the same bodies in Event Horizon. So that was pretty awesome.
Fig, I think was the guy's name. He was a producer over there.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he was one of the corpses.
He was one of the corpses.
They named the corpses.
I mean, probably. I don't know. Theater kids are weird, and I feel like probably so are movie kids.
I wonder how many movies those corpses have been through. Do you think that these are the only two? There's got to be more.
There's got to be more. So I think that one of the people who worked on, I know that one of the people who worked on this also worked on Hellraiser. Is there any chance that bodies have been in all three?
Ooh. I feel like that would make sense because even in Hellraiser, the way that the bodies are would match how they are in Event. You know, Space Hellraiser.
Space Hellraiser.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is Scottish Hellraiser? No, it's not. It isn't. Did you see what the production company was?
No, I didn't.
Dude.
Is it the same one? Wait.
No. It's insane. You will literally never guess this. Let me tell you about it.
Okay, please do.
It is produced by Kismet Entertainment Group, which is the project of a guy named David Allen from fucking Siloam Springs, Arkansas.
Oh! I would not have guessed that at all. No.
No.
That's fair.
Isn't that crazy? And like, how did he get involved in this British
Yeah, that doesn't make any
movie?
sense at all.
Like, how did that
cool.
happen?
So wait, was he the guy that was the pen at the pub?
No, actually, this guy sucks. We don't like him.
Okay.
Yeah. He has the rights to the movie, not the writer, not the director.
Oh, that blows.
And he's been trying to get TV shows or sequels off the ground, but they all look bad.
Yeah, that's fair.
And they don't ever go anywhere. So he's just hoarding those.
That does suck. Do you think he still lives there?
Oh, no, I don't think so. Because I was trying to find out more information on this production company to see what else they'd done. Mm-hmm. And I found an address in New York, I think.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, the company still has an address in Siloam Springs.
Wow.
I know. I was like, how? I need more information. And listen, I watched hours of YouTube videos and none of that came up.
Maybe they're trying to erase it because they hate it so much.
Maybe.
Well, whenever it popped up, it was Kismet, and I was like, oh, that was one of my Zanga names. No, one of my AIM names.
Oh.
I don't know.
One of? How many AIM names did you have?
You gotta have 3 or 4 because you gotta talk to people and pretend you're other people to get them to talk about. High school is a weird time, man. Just pop up as another person and be like, well, what do you think of this specific person? And then they're like, you're obviously that specific person. You're like, well, maybe.
I didn't do that. I did have multiple AIM names, but do you remember early Facebook when they did a secrets box?
Oh, yeah.
My diction was so unique that everybody always knew it was me. Not even... I wasn't asking questions about me. I was asking dumb questions.
They're just like, thanks, Kelly. This is my
God
answer.
Damn it. Is it because I used a semicolon? Fuck. Also, this was originally, the rights to this movie originally were purchased by Sci-Fi. And so
Oh.
even though this was like written and directed and produced and edited and everything outside of Sci-Fi,
Mhm.
this was originally released on TV as a Sci-Fi original. Yeah. I know. And I wondered if maybe that contributed to us thinking it was bad. Because 2002?
Yeah, it might. It definitely might. I mean,
We
the
would have
name and the
seen it.
cover
I know.
is enough for me to be like, this is going to be dog shit. Like, I could not.
Dog soldiers,
Yeah.
more like dog shit. No, I don't even know what the cover looks like. Let me pull it up.
The new cover is great. The old cover is awful.
Okay. I just always thought that it was like a shoot 'em up. I thought it was like a shooty macho man gun movie.
I feel like that's a fair assumption. And it kind of is.
It kind of is, but it's so much more than that.
It is. I do have a question on plot.
Yeah. Is it about Megan?
Yeah.
Yeah, same question.
Okay. Well, let's try to talk through it then to see how we feel. Because I tried to figure it out, and I was like, is there something I'm missing? Because I don't fully understand this.
I have a little bit more info from, vis-a-vis all those YouTube videos.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's talk about it. So, Megan, okay. Listeners, you really should watch this movie before we get into it because it's really good. But yeah, Megan is this zoologist that the boys run into while trying to escape from the werewolves. Conveniently run into, I might add. And she scoops them up in her big-ass truck and takes them to a house in the Glen that she says belongs to some friends of hers and holes up with them. And we come to find out that she's a recent graduate and is out here researching. She had heard the stories of a cryptid monster in the woods. And so she was out here to figure out, she didn't really believe it. She came out to, get to the bottom of it and now believes that it is werewolves out in the woods. And she has a really great line where she's like, I didn't write it down, but the point of the line was like, if this is real, imagine what else is out there. And I was like, that's very Fox Mulder of you.
And there was something like, how are you going to sleep at night knowing that there are, now that you know that these things like this exist?
Great question. Great question.
Don't
Megan.
know.
But okay. It's hard to explain what happened when our question is the plot.
Yeah.
At the end, she's a vampire, and we have to, not a vampire.
What?
She's a werewolf.
I was almost like, oh my God, we watched different movies again.
No, at the end, she's a werewolf, and we have to kill her.
Yeah.
And the question is, when did that happen? And
my question is, why did she help them?
yeah.
There are some lines in the movie that would indicate, she kept saying, oh, I thought you were coming to help us. I thought you were coming to rescue us. And then she would, say things along the way. And then kind of at the end, she was like, I stayed for you, or I did this for you, Cooper. And now that it's not something, and I let them in.
She does. She let them in. Yeah. So I don't know.
When I read online, it said that she had been newly adopted into that family after meeting them and had been probably a wolf for some time.
But then how come she wasn't a wolf all night?
See, that's what's weird. I don't know.
Yeah, she has this line toward the end, and it's moments before sunrise.
Also, the moon is not full.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that? Because they were like, it's a full moon. And I was like, stop showing pictures of the moon because this is not a full moon.
You could just say it and we'll believe you. I don't know, but there was a part right at the beginning of the movie where it's that prologue of the movie happens 4 weeks before, right? So that's It was a full moon then. But there's a part where Cooper is like running around in the woods and it pans up to show the moon. But because I fucking forgot it was a werewolf movie and really thought that we were just doing like military movie, I was like, what's that, a helicopter? Is that a helicopter?
Yep.
That's a fucking moon, idiot. It's a werewolf movie. But yeah, she doesn't turn until like half an hour before sunrise, and she's acting like I don't have time, like I'm running out of time in my human form. It's wolf o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that in this cut of the movie, she got turned. There's a part where one of them, vomity soldier, gets pulled out of the window, and then she like puts her hand on the window
and gets cut.
I
do remember that.
And was that it? Did that somehow turn her?
I don't think that turned her, because I think that later she didn't have a cut on her hand and it was trying to show that she healed. So if we were paying attention.
But that same thing happened with Wells and Ryan. They get hurt in the scope of the movie and heal on their run up to turning.
Yeah. But I was saying, like, you still have, I think, a superhuman ability as a wolf, even when you're not in wolf form, too. So I thought that it was like a indicator. The only reason that I'm questioning this is because whenever you find out you have a picture of the family and you say the reason you're not in the picture is because you were holding the camera.
Yeah. No, I agree. And she's got like scars, like scratch scars on her arm the whole movie. Yeah, I don't know. I am trying to make it make sense. And throughout the movie, she's like so spooky. She's always like looking out the window, all mysterious.
And she's like okay with them shooting at them and trying to kill them.
Right. And she like does want to get away. So I did read one of the YouTube videos I watched was about how her plot did get like changed in the movie, and that scene specifically where she cuts her hand like should have been cut with the other changes, and that it just like ended up staying in probably for budgetary concerns. But I can't. But now that I'm saying it out loud, I can't remember what her original story was supposed to be and how it changed. But I read a fan theory that was that she was, but even this doesn't make sense. The fan theory was that she was maybe being held against her will with this werewolf family. And I don't think that's true, because that's like a happy photo. And
she kept saying really nice things about them too.
Yeah, that's right. So I don't know that I buy that. I do think that, and then let me finish out the fan theory and then I'll do my own theory. The fan theory is that at some point she is like, oh, I've made a mistake. I shouldn't be hanging out with these werewolves. I got to run away. And so she was trying to escape with the military guys. But before that, she wanted to lure them to the house in order to kill the other vampires. I'm going to say
the other guy. Yeah.
All the time. Werewolves. Because part of some werewolf lore is that the only way to be turned back human is to kill the one who turned you into werewolf.
But he didn't turn until later.
Not Ryan, the family.
Oh.
Yeah. So she was like, let me hook up with the military. They can come kill this family and then I'll be human again and I can go back to being a scientist.
Oh, that seems like a plausible theory. Or at least I like that theory.
Yeah, I like it.
I feel like that fits. That makes it make sense where it did not make sense.
I don't know. Her story is a little weird.
Yeah, that's the part that I also, the other part that I had a question about. What, dog soldiers? What, the name? What does that, there are no soldiers. I was misled completely about what this movie would be based on the name.
What did you think it was going to be based on the name?
Like a military experiment that created a fusion of humans and dogs. And that's why the first scene made sense. And it was like, you're fusing humans with dogs.
Oh.
Yeah, dog soldiers. You know.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
I always thought dog soldiers meant like...
And I was under that assumption the entire first half of the movie. No, I mean, once we knew it was werewolves, I pretty much gave up. But I thought even the couple at the beginning was killed by soldier dog hybrid.
Whoa. I did, I mean, I guess there is some like government mischief here, right? No, I always thought dog soldiers was like related to the phrase, like, you treat us like dogs. I thought that they were just soldiers being sent to do like the shittiest trench work style.
And that is true. That's exactly what they were
That's
sent
true.
to do. They were sent as bait. So.
Oh my God, you're right. I was right this whole
You were
time.
right. You were right. But the wolves aren't the dog soldiers. That's where I got. But then she made a comment at the beginning of the film. I do think that there were a bunch of ideas that didn't get fleshed out.
Yeah.
Because there was a comment in the beginning being like, they're doing exactly. It's before you find out it's the family. I mean, it's pretty obvious it's the family because they're not there. Mm-hmm. But before you find it out, she is like, they're doing the same things as you. They are trying to plot how to get inside, just like you're trying to plot how to get outside. I was like, oh, okay. So it's soldier versus soldier. That's what I'm hearing.
Soldier.
And it's family versus soldiers. That's pack versus soldier.
Well, I think that it's like animals
pack mentality.
Yeah.
Because she did describe each member of the pack and like what specifically they were.
And I also think that it's like related to, I think she even says it, like alpha males, just a bunch of alphas in this group. But I think some of them are just sensitive boys.
Most of them are sensitive boys.
Yeah, they're just softies.
Even the sergeant was a softie.
Maybe the sergeant was most of all.
Yeah.
When Megan was telling us the name of the family, Uoth, I was like, I fucking know that that's a clue. I know that that is a clue. Like, maybe if I was up there, I would know what Uoth meant. I don't here in America, but I looked it up after. It's Celtic for horror, and it's a sign of death and fertility and change in Celtic astrology.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah, look at him being clever.
Huh.
Yeah. Oh, I also, man, was she a wolf the whole time? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe, like, well, they talked about it because they were like, is it like when you take a dump? Do you immediately take a dump, or can you hold it in for a bit and then take a dump? And I was like, was she holding in her dump for a long time? And then she was like, I can't hold in the dump anymore.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway, you guys, this is a great movie.
It's a really good movie.
Any movie that compares turning into a werewolf to taking a shit is going to be top tier. Top tier.
They do lay the groundwork for mistrusting her from the very beginning. Mm-hmm. Like in the first scene with the soldiers where they like know that it's something weird that's chasing them. The sergeant says, he says like, if Little Red Riding Hood pulls an Uzi on you, make sure to chin the bitch. Like straight away, the movie is like, there's going to be a woman and she's going to be bad. And you cannot trust her. And then there was like, I don't know. There were a bunch of fairy tale references in the movie. Oh, do you think that's what the director was talking about? Maybe going overboard? And not just like the sci-fi references?
Oh, I think he just threw in every reference that was in his head.
Well, yeah.
I think he was just like, how is this line going to reference something that I know? A question, did you look this up? Was super glue really invented in Vietnam?
Oh, no, I did not look this up, but it was mentioned in one of the many videos I watched. And I think it said not invented in Vietnam, but it became clear that it was useful and that like shot up manufacturing for it.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I did read trivia that said in a book, somebody got disemboweled and they used super glue. And then the person doing it said, they used this in Vietnam. And then later they were like, actually, I saw it in a movie about werewolves. And I was like, oh shit, is the Vietnam thing not true? And I meant to look that up and I didn't, but I saw that fact. I saw that as I was like, I kind of want to read that book now. That seems like a good book. That seems like a fun book.
Yeah. That might be my favorite scene in the movie.
He was really drunk during that.
I saw. And when Cooper punches him in the face, he was supposed to miss, and he actually fucking hit him. And like, shout out to Sean Pertwee. So Cooper hits him, and it like looks bad, and Wells like pretends to be passed out for a moment and then pops back up and he hits him again. So like, that's amazing. You actually get punched in the face and you're like, I'm staying in character.
Yeah. That was great.
But man, if my guts fall out, like, leave me behind, dude.
Yeah, for sure. I have no idea how that entire stretch of picking someone up, getting them into a car, taking them to a bed, and super gluing their stomach shut.
Yeah.
That is some.
So
if you guys haven't decided to watch the movie yet, now is your time.
Oh, God. That line that he says while they're trying to glue him up, and he's just drunk and delirious, and he goes, sausages. That was ad-libbed. That wasn't in the script.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this is going to be a movie that I'm going to watch more than once.
Many times.
And I've already recommended it to multiple people.
Yep. Same.
And all of you.
Oh, watch this one for sure.
Yeah.
Do you use super glue on your cuts?
Today? Right now? Are you asking me or the audience?
Would you? Both. Audience, right in.
I have not, but I feel like I've been around some. Nope, I've watched a lot of medical TV shows.
You've watched a lot of medical TV shows.
That's probably more what I'm thinking
I've done it.
Did it work?
I use it. It works great.
Oh.
I keep super glue with the Band-Aids. You wouldn't want to use it on like a scrape.
Oh, yeah.
But I use it in situations where I'm like, well, that probably needs stitches. And I don't. And I have no intention of pursuing that.
And I have gone and gotten stitches when I should have just super glued it.
Yeah, just super glue it.
Yeah. I think that's a good way to do it.
You do have to like
sterilize,
clean the shit out of it beforehand. Sure. Yeah.
You don't want to keep keep that stuck in it.
Up in there. Yeah.
That's fair. That makes sense. Do you use soap and water? Hydrogen peroxide, alcohol? How do you clean it?
A little bit of everything. No, definitely soap and water, but also usually hydrogen peroxide, but I have both on hand. So, depending on the severity of the bleeding, whichever one I find first.
Yep. Makes sense.
What about you?
I use Band-Aids and Neosporin. Whenever I have deep cuts, I have never used super glue, but I just think I have had situations where I should have, and I went and got stitches instead, and the stitches ended up being really bad because they were people practicing stitches.
Oh.
They were like, this is my first time doing stitches, and I was like, I am not the person for this.
Do not tell me that.
And then the next time, I got somebody else to take them out, and they were like, I haven't really taken out many stitches. And I was like, I know I'm at like a clinic, but like, am I at a teaching clinic? Like, or is everyone new? Is this like everyone's first day every time I come in? It's fine, but like, at least can I know this before going in? Also, can I get a discount? I'm still paying a lot of money for you to cut my finger back open. Thank you.
It should be cheaper, and I should be told immediately.
Yeah,
like that should be a disclaimer up front.
Yeah, no, I
don't like that.
It's not good.
I don't care for that.
But it's fine. No, I've never had to use anything extensive to hold skin together. I've never been disemboweled, luckily.
Thank God.
That's my other question.
Knock on wood, am I right?
How long could you live? Because like, I was like, oh, he's disemboweled. This is immediate death, right? No, they didn't. That's not what happened. Can that happen? Can that happen?
I think.
Can that happen? How long can that happen?
I think that it depends on how many werewolf platelets you have swimming around in the soup of your body.
Good. That's a good. That's a good. Okay. Because like I have, that is one thing that's like super gross.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, it's not good.
That's like when that comes into horror movies. That's the part. Those are the ones that and the teeth thing at the end. The teeth with the sword.
Oh God,
I did not like that.
Through the teeth.
I was not
and
a fan.
It made a sound.
It did.
Ugh.
That made my teeth hurt as that was happening.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is painful. Oh no, please.
But that scene was giving Evil Dead vibes.
Oh yeah.
Like, I think that they crushed it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this movie was pretty gory, but comically,
So
not
funny.
comically,
But,
maybe
like,
campy. It's campy. There it
Yeah,
is. There's a
'cause-
word for
and
this.
specifically, I'm thinking of the scene with the car
In the truck.
and the
Yeah.
hat, and then the head gets. Yeah, that was great. Yeah.
That made me so mad. I was like, so that was Joe, loves the footy on the telly. And and I was like, Joe, I can tell that you have no women in your life because women know to check the fucking back seat before you get into a
Yep.
dark car.
Yep.
Joe, you gotta look around you. Use your senses.
And like the moment that you're like, you're behind me, aren't you?
Yeah.
You don't turn around. Get the fuck out. Run. You have
No, man.
moments.
He had to go out fighting. He wasn't about to give up and die being chased. He wanted to face his aggressor.
I guess it's I'm not admiring it. I don't think it's admirable. I think he should have gotten out. He could have seen the footy on the telly.
Yeah. Is he the one? I think he's the one at the beginning of the movie, right before Wells gets disemboweled. I think he tells him no heroics. And now he's out here doing heroics.
Oh,
Come on, Joe. Come on, Joe. I also loved the scene. Speaking of dudes being dudes, this is a real dudes rock movie. Like,
There was a fun fact that said the British troops in Afghanistan and Iraq, this was their most watched movie. And I was like, yeah, that's fair. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, the biggest dude being a dude, I think, is Spoon when he fully boxes a werewolf.
The most manliest man, Spoon.
No. To be clear, not the manliest man. The most dudes rock
Oh, okay.
man. Like fully just trying to box a werewolf.
Oh, yeah.
That's a
I love
great
that.
scene.
I love
That's a
that. I was
great
like, you
scene.
were not. That was admirable. He went out the best way.
Well, in his dying words, I hope I give you the
that.
shits.
I love that so much.
Oh, I love him.
I hope that. Oh no, they got blown up. I was like, I hope that he did.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe they did. Maybe he had the runs in the basement.
Yeah, maybe. Oh,
Oh man. What a good movie.
yeah, so good.
What a good movie. Also, this isn't so much a dude's rock. It just made me laugh. When Wells and Cooper, I think it's just them left, and they've like chiseled through a wall to get away from a werewolf. And they're like looking around for what to do next, and Wells says, "Let's get in the wardrobe."
Yeah.
Like, so funny, like such a childish thing to do. Like that's and he says it impish, like he knows that it's like
A bad option.
It's like a little kid being like pulling the blankets up over his head. Let's get in the wardrobe. Works out though.
I did really love not the first scene. The first scene is the couple in the. I liked it's like the third or fourth scene, but I like the scene where they are around the campfire and they're all telling stories, and I thought that was an incredibly powerful start to the movie, and it was so well done. And I was like, at that point, because like the first two scenes, I was like, okay, and then this scene, I was like, am I gonna like this movie?
Yeah.
Like at this scene, that's what did it.
Because that's where we get to see them, like, I don't know, being pals.
Yeah.
They're being like people and pals. They're telling each other their fears. And most of them are like
Spiders.
being
Women.
shitheads about it. Yeah.
Spider women.
Spider women. Yeah. No, you got to think bigger, Coop. It's wolf women you got to be afraid of.
Oh, damn.
But I really liked Wells' story
Yeah.
in that scene. Like talking about he's already open-minded about the supernatural. right? He's like talking about his friend with the devil tattoo and how maybe the devil
did save his kid,
but just the bit.
Yeah. And it was such an intense story. And then somebody else pipes up and it's just like, oh my God, you didn't even listen. Like,
I think that he was trying to bring the mood back because we had been cruising along, like ribbing each other, and then Wells is like,
I mean, it was a perfect campfire story. You got to keep it dark and brooding.
yeah. Time to get spooky. And then that cow falls on them.
And the reaction to the cow being like, it's fine. Everyone just huddle up against the wall. We'll figure it out later. And I was like, I mean, look up. Somebody look up.
Look up. How did cows do not fall on you? What is going on up there? I don't know why I keep saying that. I watched a YouTube video.
I retained knowledge.
I learned things. That there is a deleted scene.
Oh.
Where they, wait, no. And then I found it. And then I watched it. This isn't rumor. I've seen it. Good. There is a deleted scene where they imply that they are going to cut up the cow and barbecue it.
Of course.
It's Joe.
I mean, if they did that, could they get the superhuman abilities, or would they become?
Oh,
could they get the superhuman abilities, but not
soldiers? Whoa!
It's actually talking about the second one. Is there a second one? I did see a thing called fresh meat.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Okay, I'm gonna do some clicking. Clicky click.
If there is a second one, it's part of that
bad guys thing.
Arkansas dude. Yeah.
Okay, let me see. There's a Dog Soldier's Legacy that came out in 2011. Dog Soldier Shadow of the Past? That's from 1989.
Were these? Oh. That's not
Ferocious Dog Broken Soldier. Sorry. Dog Soldier's Legacy. Okay, this one was supposed to be a TV series. I think this is the one that didn't get off the ground.
Oh, one of the ideas that I think was more from the studio than the writer-director, but maybe I'm wrong, was, yes, to spin this off into a series. And that's sort of that scene with Megan where she's like, imagine what else is out there. That was supposed to be laying the groundwork for it.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Yeah, it was going to be like Supernatural, but starring Cooper.
I would have watched the shit out of that.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, I guess I wouldn't have because I didn't watch this movie, but I would have gone back for it.
We would definitely watch it now for sure if it existed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, did you know that there is a Baywatch spinoff called Baywatch Nights? Where
Wait, what? Is it like a supernatural Baywatch? What the fuck?
Is. Yep. It is.
What? I'm going to have to look this up. Oh my God, why?
Yeah, I think
oh my God.
Like, I know. I know. Yeah, and it's monsters. It's cryptids. It's a monster of the week.
That is
Baywatch TV show.
Interesting. That's interesting.
Is the Hoff in it?
Yep.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 45 episodes.
I know.
Holy shit. I'm going to be real. I'm probably not going to watch that. I might watch a couple episodes.
I'll probably watch, I would like to watch like a YouTube compilation of the monsters.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
Yeah.
I would like to see the top-rated episodes. Oh. The pitch pilot is one of the top-rated episodes, and the epilogue is one of the top-rated episodes. That's concerning.
Oh, that is concerning. Yeah. And you know what? I wonder if those ratings are like, I don't think that those are like IMDb user entered ratings. I think that those are probably the legacy Nielsen ratings.
Oh.
And so those are higher because people tuned in to like check it out and also to like send it off.
Because some of these have pretty, I was going to say the episodes themselves have higher ratings than the entire show.
Oh, what are they?
Some have 7.3.
Whoa.
6.2, 7.0, 6.4. The entire first season, only one of them drops below 5.8, but as a total, there's a 5.3. But as a total, the show has like a 3 point something. Did it get worse in later seasons? Maybe the other seasons brought it down.
I think that is like,
I think
that the 3 is users. Oh, I don't know. How did you forget
I don't
Monster
know.
Baywatch?
Some of these little like clip pictures look kind of familiar.
I'm just imagining. Oh, actually, what I'm imagining is the werewolf episode of the X-Files. It's not a werewolf, but it is,
Space Spores.
same thing.
Okay, maybe I will watch a couple episodes. We'll see. We'll
Okay.
see. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Next shooting the shit.
Yeah.
Baywatch
Oh,
Nights.
God. I mean, if you guys want to hop on our non-existent Patreon, I don't know. If you want to send us money somehow, I'll watch them and then I'll comment on them.
Yeah, Venmo.
I can't do it for free. I don't have the time. There's no time to do that for free.
No, there's barely time to do this for free.
I gotta watch the X-Files, and I want to do that for free. But I do not want to watch Baywatch Nights for free.
I wonder how the worst episode of Baywatch Nights stacks up against the worst episode of the X-Files.
The best episode of Baywatch Nights stacks up against the worst episode of X-Files.
Well, I was just trying to think, like, X-Files has a large range. It's very dynamic.
Okay.
And so I wondered if its low is lower, but no, that can't be right.
Lower than theirs.
No, you're right. Yeah. No, how does the best Baywatch Night? Fuck, I am going to have to watch this. Okay, well.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll just watch the best episode.
You know what? I've got a friend who started watching it, and I'll see if it's Monster of the Week-ish enough for us to just pick one out, or if there's going to be an arc that we don't know.
Yeah, if we have to watch multiple, I can't.
No,
I can't commit that kind of time.
No. I have a couple more fun facts.
Yeah, please throw them at me.
So, they ended up having to film this in Luxembourg because their budget was very small, $2.3 million, and it was too expensive to film in Scotland. But Luxembourg looks sufficiently enough like the Highlands that they were like, fine,
Okay.
this will work. And the Luxembourg crew offered to do some of the stunts for the actors, like jumping out of the helicopter, because Luxembourg has mandatory military experience. So everybody on the crew had been in the army, and they were like, y'all are going to hurt yourselves, as evidenced by fucking Cooper's broken ribs. So they did it for them. They just put the crew in little uniforms, had them jump out of a helicopter.
Aww.
They sound great. The crew sounds truly delightful.
So it is a dead and breakfast because they all enjoyed making it. It was a passion project. They just needed to put in some musicals.
I know. God, a musical would have been great.
Zach and the Los Lobos band. Wait, is that right? Did I?
Zachariah and the Los Lobos band. Yeah, you got it.
That's who they need to. He's got to make a soundtrack for it.
Maybe we can get him to like make a musical. Can we bring this to the stage?
Oh my God, that would be beautiful. I mean, the wolves were dancers.
Oh my God. They were dancers. Dancers and stilts.
Oh, beautiful.
Which was funny. I watched an interview with the director where he was like, I specifically wanted dancers because I wanted these wolves to like look super graceful and elegant. But we put them in stilts and then it ruined everything and they were just falling down left and right.
Yeah, I was going to say, I would not say any of these looked graceful.
No. You know, there was a scene where they're in the house and it's the first siege that the wolves make. And one of them is breaking into the upstairs room where Wells is still unconscious. And when we zoomed up there, when Cooper runs up there and we see the wolf coming in through the window, I thought it was levitating.
No.
I was like, what? That's not fair. Like, they can also float. That's not fair.
Yeah. No one stands a chance against the floating.
But yeah, the crew also seemed delightful. They ended up like wrapping half a day early, which is crazy. Like small budget, small scrappy group, and they get to the end, and instead of being frantic, the crew, and also instead of the crew being like, okay, we're done, we wrapped early, we're going home, the crew was like, I mean, is there anything else that you want done? And the director was like, can we blow up one of the wolf heads? So they rigged it with pyro and blew it up. And that scene is in the movie. Oh, and that also reminds me, they had to film the movie in order
Oh.
because the budget was so low and so much like damage happens to the set that they were like, we've got to do it in order because we can't have
rebuild.
multiple sets and we can't go back and rebuild. Yeah. So
That makes sense.
they did it in order.
Damn.
Oh, so fun.
Great movie.
Great movie. Yeah, I'd say buy this one.
Yeah.
It is on YouTube.
It is.
And that one looks better.
I rented from Amazon.
I did too, but when I saw that it was on YouTube, I went and checked it out just to see. I don't know. I don't know why I looked. I was curious. And it looks better. It looks like it's been restored. Oh, that's another thing.
I guess that they do have it. They have it on Blu-ray? Am I making this up?
They do, but that was actually like the fans were pissed because it was a big deal to get it on Blu-ray, but when they went to do it, nobody could find the original film. And it was filmed on 16 millimeter.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, you can't really fix that up anyway, even if they found the 16s. But yeah, couldn't find it.
Damn.
Nobody knows where the original reels of this are. And so the Blu-ray was restored from like movie theater reels.
Oh, okay.
And those looked bad because it was going from 16 to 35 or whatever. So yeah, the fans were pretty upset. And I think that is the one that is on Amazon where I watched it. Mm-hmm. And so the one on YouTube is like brighter. You can see more of the action.
Okay.
But them are some thick ass Scottish accents. So I think
Need the captions, yeah.
I need them captions.
I started it without the captions, and about like 20 minutes in, I was like, I can't.
Oh, God.
I've missed so much of this.
Mine was less than 20. Straight away, Cooper was like, oh, and I was like, oh, we're talking too fast.
Yep.
I got to read this one. Oh, this was so fun. This was a fun one.
Yeah.
I also really loved the photographs that they displayed during the credits.
Yeah, those were great.
Oh, I want them.
Yeah.
Can I get one framed? Just put it behind me up on my little...
Yeah. Perfect.
With my ghost?
It's perfect.
Oh, love it. Loved it. I highly recommend going down a YouTube rabbit hole on this one because there's a lot of content out there and it is super fun. Yeah, watched a couple deleted scenes and I can't remember any of the other ones, but I do know that it was a good time.
The deleted all of the stuff you learned in deleted scenes.
They're fun. They're fun. The behind the scenes videos are fun.
The entire cast just seems like a great cast, and it seems like they all liked each other, and that's always yeah. Whenever people like doing what they do, and everyone is loving being there, that's the dream.
And a couple of the actors too were like, they were asked to be in it years before it actually got made, and they, were just excited about it and wanted to be like kept in mind.
Yeah.
Like Sean Pertwee, for example, he was cast and we thought the movie was going to go and then it suddenly wasn't. And Pertwee was like, I mean, just let me know when you get the money together. And I still want to do it. I call me when you're ready. And it was like 3 years later that they finally called him and he was like, yep, I will make it work. I will clear my schedule. I want to do this movie.
Oh,
I know. Isn't that nice?
it's such a good movie. Sorry, just every part of it.
Yeah, it's delightful. The guy who played Ryan is famous too. He's in like Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I don't know him.
I don't have much to say about him or his character in Game of Thrones. I don't fully remember him. When I saw his face, I was like, you are very recognizable. And he was the one that was most recognizable to me.
Oh,
right
yeah.
When I saw his face, I was like, oh, that guy.
Nope, he's done a bunch. I did watch an interview with him about this movie, and he's very different, which is good, right?
Yeah.
He's no good in the movie. Yeah, no, he's like almost smarmy in real life.
That sounds about right.
In like I don't know.
He was in the video I watched, so he seemed.
Oh, yeah.
He seemed a lot more enjoyable to be around.
He did, but I also don't trust him in real life either. I was getting like maybe womanizer vibes.
Oh.
Like, not like
Yeah.
abusive or anything, just like,
I think that's a fair assumption.
yeah.
Or is that
maybe-
just as
maybe-
British?
No. Oh, delightful movie. I did like the way that he talked about how his character and Wells's characters are like two sides of the same coin in the movie. I didn't really think about that. Like, Wells is like a mother.
Yeah.
He's just got to protect his boys.
And the way that he talks about all of them. Yeah. And he's like, I love them. I love them so much. And I was like,
no. What a sweetie. Oh, one of the deleted scenes was them. I see why they cut it. It wasn't valuable, except that so the group of soldiers had paired off into twos and they were like, I don't know, examining the woods. I don't know what they were doing, looking for baddies. And they were like, I don't know, just giving each other shit and palling around.
Yeah.
And like, obviously all of the dudes, rock dudes, were rocking. And then Cooper and Wells were like talking about how much they love their families.
Oh, I guess that kind of makes sense because his talking about the family at the end.
Yeah, he like pulls out the picture of his lady.
Annie, was her name Annie?
Annie. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, they're sweeties. They're just a bunch of sweeties, and they had to fight all these wolves.
And they are the underdogs. What was it? He's like, I would much rather be part of this team. But what did he call them? The underdogs? What did he call them?
He might have.
Whenever he's like, I'd much rather be part of these guys than the special ops any day.
Yeah, special ops suck. They're mean.
Amen.
Ruthless. That guy killed a dog.
Yeah.
To make a point.
We have watched too many movies. The last 3
know.
movies we watched, a dog died.
Has it been Jesus, it has,
Yeah,
huh?
Skinwalker Ranch.
This.
And what was the one before it? Because I remember being like, another fucking dog. Was it Kevin Bacon? Scream? Scream? Did a dog die in Scream?
I think it might have been Scream.
Did a dog die in
I can't
Scream?
remember it now, though. Oh, I don't. Listeners, write in.
There was another dog. Because I was like, this is the 3rd movie in a row where I've watched a dog die.
Did a dog get got in Tremors? Seems like a dog might have gotten got in Tremors.
What was the last?
Oh,
They, them.
The Darkness.
No.
It was The Darkness.
They, them.
Also, they, them. No, that means for them because a dog died in The Darkness.
I am done with movies where dogs die. I am done with it. I am done with it. I swear if the next movie we watch, a dog dies, I'm quitting this podcast.
Okay, I'm going to screen it beforehand so that
And
we
let
can
me know and then just tell me
circumvent.
to fast forward through whatever part because I cannot take it again.
Yeah.
But guys, just to tell you what we're watching next week, I guess.
Yeah.
We're going to be watching Antlers. So if there is a dog that dies in it, we have already recorded that before this is released, hopefully, if I got my shit together. So you can't tell us if a dog has died in it, but we will let you know next week. If you want to wait to watch it, that will be the first thing that I tell you if a dog survives or not, or if there is a dog at all. There just shouldn't be a dog. Don't put a dog in the movie. I can't deal with it anymore. I'm done with it.
And then the cat and Smile.
Oh,
yeah.
I just can't with any more pets. If dogs and cats, if we could just leave those alone for a little bit, that would be pretty sweet.
Oh, good news though. The werewolf family's dog makes it out of this movie.
I was so happy about that. That was a wonderful ending for, what was the name of the dog? They called the dog by name a lot.
Sam, I think.
Yeah. That's the only, Sam deserved a happy ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that they had locked him in the cupboard so that they wouldn't accidentally eat him?
I think that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, next week, Antlers 2021, starring Carrie Russell and Jesse Plemons. I haven't seen this one. I don't really know anything about it. But the summary from IMDb is, in an isolated Oregon town, a middle school teacher and her sheriff brother become embroiled with her enigmatic student, whose dark secrets lead to terrifying encounters with an ancestral creature. And that student is like little.
I feel like a dog's going to die.
A dog is probably going to die.
That sounds like a dog's going to die.
Well, I mean, just based on our hit rate.
So
dog is
catch
probably
us
gonna
next
die.
week. We're changing our name to A Dog's Gonna Die. We're no longer Never Show the Monster. No. We do not
No,
like.
I don't want to do a podcast called "The Dog Is Gonna Die."
Every time we watch a movie. I mean, we are inadvertently turning into that.
I know. Oh God, this is the second time we've like accidentally done. Do you remember in the first I don't know 10 movies we did, there were like 10 or more suicides?
Yeah, that was pretty.
And now we've moved on to this. Oh God,
what's the
can't
next
we luck
one?
into something fun?
We'll find a next.
Actually,
what?
Do you remember we speaking of antlers, the antler deaths in Dead and Breakfast, and then again in
After Midnight.
There were antlers on the wall at the bottom of the stairs in this movie, and boy was I watching those like a hawk.
You were like, another one. Thank God.
I want another antler death.
Instead we got another dog. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's not fine. It is not fine.
It's not fine. It's not good. But that's how we know to like Cooper is immediately he won't kill the dog.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Yep. Straight away, we know that he's honorable. So yeah, come back next week to talk about antlers, wherein hopefully no pets die. In the meantime, you can listen to us over on our other podcast, Debut Buddies, which we host with our friend Nate Regolia. Our latest episode is on the first conspiracy theory, and I know that I yelled in that one. I know that I yelled. I got riled up. So go check that out. And please remember to rate and review the show over on iTunes. Only if you like the show, please. 5 stars. That'd be dope. And you can find us on Twitter, No Show Monster. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, No Show Monster. You can email us, noshowmonster@gmail.com. And we will see you next week to talk about antlers. Happy spooky.
Happy spookies.